Introducing baskets designed by Crystal. Prepare to be amazed. They're designed with passion and shared with love.
Hey y'all, hey, this is Crystal with baskets designed by none other than me. Listen, I know that the basket season is kind of slowing down now after Father's Day. I did get a call from one of my realtors who does a lot of business with me, and she wanted me to design this closing basket for one of her clients. So I figured, you know what? Let me get some content put out there. She has this beautiful seashell cooler. We live here in Florida, so this is a perfect gift. I think the house she sold is near the beach, so this is going to be a perfect gift for them. I went ahead and found a box and put it in the inside, and I wanted to leave some room back here because I have some really thick towels that I think I'm going to use here. I went ahead and cut a piece of cardboard and taped it just to make a backer, because I'm going to have to brace those towels up some way, and then I'm going to hopefully have this rest against it. That is the vision that's in my head. So we're going to see if this is all going to come together. Okay, so these are some beautiful seashell blue towels that she had, and I have two sets, or one set of two of these, and they're by Crown and Ivy. Very, very nice quality, and they are huge, huge towels. So I have that. She doesn't have too much stuff to go in here, but it's going to be enough to make a really nice basket. Okay. And then she went ahead and got some of these mini Arrow mini ice cube trays. Okay. For just some tiny little ice cube balls for those beachy drinks. So got those. And then she had these beautiful Life's a Beach tumbler cups, okay, in that beautiful aqua blue color, Life's a Beach. And we have two of those, okay. And then I thought this was really, really nice. They're measuring cups, silver measuring cups, but on the handles, they have like the little beachy starfish on there on the handles. Okay, so I thought that was really nice. So we have a set of those. And last but not least, she always does a gift card from either Lowe's or Home Depot. Okay, so there's a gift card in here, and that's made cute, like a cute little paint can. Okay, so there's a gift card in the inside of that. So again, not too many items, so this should be fairly simple. All right, so what I'm going to attempt to do now is take my backer that I've already pre-cut, and I've measured it and cut it already. And what I want to do, instead of covering, let's see, that backer, I'm going to attempt to use these towels so I won't have to, like, you know, cover or wrap the backer. So I'm going to attempt to use these towels. I haven't tested out the scale or anything yet on the towels, so bear with me as I try to figure out, I have in my mind what I want to happen, so let me see if I can make it happen. All right, so what I want to do is roll two of the towels close enough to each other. Okay, something like so. Okay, I'm gonna have to get my trusty little, oh, there it is, my little tag gun, so I can tag this close, okay? So these are 2 towels, okay? So bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna find my tag gun and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. I have my trusty little tag gun. All right, I flipped the towels over. This is the back, okay? So I'm gonna tag this kind of closed. But first, I think I'm gonna do the front just to make sure that I get this tucked just the way I'd like it. Now, again, I don't know how this is gonna work, but we're gonna see. I went ahead and I took the tags off of here, okay, because I want them to show in the front. So I took them off because they were tucked in the inside. So I'm gonna reattach those in just a second. So let's see if we can tag this closed, only because when I put it in the box or in the cooler, I don't want it to open. So we're gonna see if we can get that tagged really close. May take a couple of them. Okay. So these are tagged tight in the front, okay, as not to open. And then let's flip that over on the back. And we're gonna tuck really tight. And I think 1 tag should hold here. Should do it. If I need to add any additional tags, we'll see, okay? So this is kind of what I have here. I was thinking about tying a nice ribbon on there, but I'm gonna put it in the bag first. I really don't think, I don't think a ribbon's gonna be necessary because we may not be able to see it. So let's set that down in here. Remember, this is gonna come up, hopefully like that. And then I have that board in the back. And then I have this trusty little box. So let's see if we can restuff that in here. Bear with me 1 second. I may need to get a smaller box. Don't know. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. It turns out I didn't have another box, so I'm gonna have to make this one work. I did manage to get it down in there, but there's a lot of space in here that I really don't want. So what I did was, I have one of my trusty Bath and Body Work bags. I love these bags. They're very, very sturdy. And sometimes I just use them as craft paper filler. So I take the handles off and I just open up the bag, okay? There you go. And just use this for like a filler. So what I'm gonna do here is stuff this down in the front, just to give this a little bit more definition and shape. So when I shrink wrap it, it doesn't collapse. Okay. Sorry for the noise. I know us designers are used to that, but felt the need to apologize a little bit anyway. Okay, this is going to be a very simple concept. Again, I didn't do the shopping, the realtor did, and she just pays me for the design service this time. Because she had some specific items for that client. Okay, great. right, so that made that nice and sturdy. So where that box had that little gap, I went ahead and filled this. I'm going to put some more paper kind of up to the top, so when I put some shred in there, it won't sink down in there. So let me get a little bit more, let's see, craft paper. I have some Amazon paper here. Do y'all keep your Amazon scraps? If you don't, you should. Amazon has the best boxes in wrapping paper for free ever. Sometimes I go to the, there's a U-Haul place not too far. Sometimes I get free paper from them, packing paper. And also there's a warehouse here, a lighting warehouse, that when they unpack all their light fixtures and whatever, the ladies know me in there. So they'll call me and tell me that they have lots of paper if I wanted to come and get it. And I do. I do go get it. Okay, so here I have the 2 cup. Okay, so what I did was I took the cups out of the boxes, okay, because I want to display them. And these boxes are going to serve as nice fillers. So let's see. Don't want to put Life's a Beach up there. How do I want the box? There's 2 sides to the box. That's the tumbler side and then this side. I think I like this side better. Okay. I should have put the camera at a different angle. I'm sorry about that. I wasn't thinking. Okay, but I am going to try to turn it around so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. All right. My hot glue gun is plugged in. Still waiting for that to heat up a little more. I should have plugged it in before I got started, but I forgot. All right. Before I go any further, I want to attach the back of the cooler up here. So for that, we're going to use our fishing line. You know what, guys? Bear with me just a second because you're looking at this from a side view, and I apologize. So hang on one second, and I'm just going to switch this view for you. I am so sorry about that. Bring it in a little bit closer. Okay. Again, guys, I'm sorry. I should have thought better of that before I just started filming. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull this up. And as you can see, I've closed the towels at the top so you don't see any of that cardboard, backer. So we're going to just take this fishing line, okay, and attach to the towel. Let's cut that. And we're just going to tie a little knot there. And that's going to hold that top up in place. Let me do that again. I popped that line. I think I was pulling it too tight. So let me try that again. Oh. The fishing line is wanting to fight with me. But I'm fighting back, y'all. All right. Let me cut it. And let's try it again. This time I won't pull so tight, but what I am going to do, just to make sure it stays secure, as I think I'm going to secure it twice. Okay. So that's once. And that should be enough to hold it, but just because I'm extra, I'm going to do it one more time. This time just a little bit higher. Just in case when I'm shrink wrapping, if it decides to pop again, I will have it secured twice. All right. Okay, guys. So you guys get the gist of that. Now, I know for all my basket makers who've been around a while, you already know the trick to this with the fishing line. But if there's any newbies watching, that fishing line is a great way to secure or anchor some items. And it's pretty inexpensive and it's transparent. Okay, so for all intent purposes, you really won't be able to see the line. Okay? All right, so this is what we have so far. And as we see, that back is up nice and even. Okay? All right. I decided just to leave these straps out. I didn't want to tuck them in. Okay, so I think I'm going to tuck this front portion in just because it has a little visual. Not too much worry about the back. All right. Okay, so then we're going to take our two boxes, okay, that the tumbler cups come in. And as you see, it's hiding that the indentation of that fishing line, but still they will be able to see that these are two really nice beach towels in the bag. All right, so we're gonna put that there. And then she has these ice trays. I am trying to pull, okay, managing to pull the tag, the price tag off of here, which I did. This just lets you know that it's ice trays. So, we want to kind of anchor that like so. Because it really doesn't matter which way, because we're going to put her little, she always wants her gift cards to be shown. So we're gonna put that like so, okay? So let's get these boxes anchored down. I'm trying to make sure I have enough room for this ice tray. And I think we do. Okay, yeah, I think that's gonna fit quite nicely. All right, so I have my glue gun ready. And I'm just gonna put a tiny bit of glue right on the bottom of these boxes. Pulling the price tag off of one. Tiny, tiny bit of glue there. Did that wrong. There we go. Careful to make my boxes even. All right. Price tag off of that one. Again, a tiny bit of glue. Okay. Okay, want those boxes to stay secure like that. Okay, and they're in there pretty tight with that glue. Now this, we're not going to glue it. I can, you know, I was going to tape it. What I should have done was secured it with another piece of fishing line. But you know what? It's not too late. I'll just take another piece and tie it right around there. Because I don't want tape. Tape's gonna look a little messy. Excuse me one sec, guys. I dropped. It wouldn't be me if I don't drop something. And I dropped my fishing line. But I have it now. Okay. Came unwound just a bit. So let's get that back tight. Okay. On here. This time I'm going to secure it, but I'm going to put it inside. Inside the back of that cooler. And bring it around. Yeah. That way I can camouflage it a itty bit more. Okay. And I'm gonna slide it right under the lids of these boxes. And that's going to secure this perfectly. Okay. Won't be able to see it. Okay. Okay, great. I'm gonna cut that, and then I'm gonna take a tiny piece of tape, and I'm going to tape it down just to give it a little extra security. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, and that is pretty secure. We're almost done. Then I have these two beautiful little tumblers. I'm going to put a bead of glue around the bottom of this. I've already tested it. The glue is not going to hurt it at all. It is going to peel directly off. Okay, these tumblers are metal. They aren't plastic. So when they pull them off, they just need to run their finger across that glue and it's just going to bead right off of there. So it's not going to damage the cup at all. Okay. We're going to sit those right up there like that. Okay. All right. We are just about finished. Then we have our little Lowe's gift bin, which she always puts in her baskets, which I think is a really, really nice touch. Now, this is just going to take a nice little piece of tape to hold it. Okay. Get my little piece of tape here. And we're just going to tape it right to the plastic on the ice tray. Okay. I'm going to secure it a little more right here. And that's just going to keep it from moving. Tape it right to the box, and then one more piece of tape right on the side. Okay, right to the ice tray. Again, That's just to secure it in place, just to keep it from moving. So this is what we have so far. Guys, we just have one other item left in here, which would be these. These are really nice, but they're very, very heavy. But before I do that, I want to reattach. This has the price on it. Let me see if I can, without having to plug in my heat gun. Oh yeah, I can get that price right off of there. Okay, great. So I have a tag for the cooler bag, which I'm going to reattach. And I have a tag for the towels. Actually, I have 2 tags for the towels. Okay. And I'm taking the prices off. I'm taking the prices off, but I'm leaving the manufacturers, which is Crown and Ivy. Okay. So let's reattach these on the side, just so the recipient could know that these are definitely quality items. Okay. So we're going to reattach that here. I'll slide it right through that fishing wire on this side. And then I'm going to do the same on this side. Okay. Crown and Ivy. Really, really nice towels. I love this Realtor. She is, when she gives the clothing, I mean, she does top notch at taking care of her clients. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second. I just dropped another tag and I need to reload my gun. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. Like I said, it wouldn't be me if I didn't drop something or lose something. But I did get some leads back in my little tag gun, and then it was giving me a problem because it was sticking, but I think I got it fixed for the time being. These things are very temperamental. Not to mention they're cheaply made. Maybe I can find a better made one, but anyway, that's going to do for the time being. The last item I had on here was these metal measuring cups with the really fancy star seashell decor. They are really, really nice. I wanted to put those right here because I needed something just to fill in that little spot. So what I did was, with the fishing wire that I had already tied around the back of the bag, let me see if, I don't know. It's very transparent. You can't really see it, but there's a little fishing line going right through there, okay? I just tucked it right down in that fishing line just to hold it sturdy because it's going to be shrink wrapped so it won't move. But then what I think I'm going to do is, there's a zipper right here, okay, right at the top of this cooler bag. And I am going to just take one little string, run it right through that zipper, and then right through the ring of this measuring cup, just for a little extra security, because those cups are heavy and I do not want them to shift. Okay, so I have it secured. I have the cup secured at the bottom. Okay, and now I'm going to secure it right here at the top. Okay, just with a very, very tiny piece, okay, of this transparent fishing line. Now, some of you may not, think this step is necessary, and it probably isn't, but I'm just a little OCD when it comes to security and not having my items flop all over the place. Okay, so it's very neat. You can't see it, it's hidden, and I know for sure that these cups now are not gonna fall out or shift while I am shrink wrapping it. Okay, so basically, guys, this is it. Okay, I'm gonna get some aqua shrink wrap or blue. I'm gonna see what colors I have and stick down in here. Actually, bear with me, I have some right here. Let me see what really pretty colors that I have. Okay, I see all colors, but the color, oh, I found that's some kind of periwinkle blue. I could use that. And then I have white. Okay, but for this, I think I may just use that blue. Let's see. Well, I was hoping I would have a little bit darker blue. This teal is kind of light. I want something to make it pop. I'm going to go back in my inventory room and see if I can find something just a little bit deeper. Yeah, I think this is a little off. If not, I'll come back and maybe use white or I think orange. Oh, or maybe even green. I don't know. Let me go in my stock room and see what I have. I'll be right back. Okay, peeps, that didn't take long. I found this color, blue. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use that. I think it's really bright. It's gonna give it a pop. I got some, just a couple of little pieces of tissue that I kind of want to just slide down in there. Just on top of that craft paper. Just in case any of that shred moves. You know, you still won't be able to see the brown of the craft paper. I don't think any of it will move, but that's just a little extra security right down in there. Okay, all right, then you know how we do. We're just going to take a little bit of shred and sit right on top. I love the different variations of the blues and the teals in this bag. And I think this is kind of like a royal blue, I guess you want to call it. Some Easter grass. I think I bought a ton of it when they had it 90% off at Target after Easter. And I have a bunch of it because we use thread a lot, you know, to embellish. Okay, so I'm just going to cover up a little bit of those holes. I'm going to turn it around here. Oh, I got a piece of fishing wire here. Just want to snip that off. Okay, sticking a little down in here. And let's see, not too many holes on this over here, but I'm gonna stick some down in there anyway, just for a little extra security. Okay, all right, and there you have it. Okay. This is my Life's a Beach bag. Okay. I think it came out pretty nice. I don't know. What do you guys think? All right, let me turn it around for you. Stuff nice and tight. Okay. Yeah, I'll just shrink wrap it down like that. It's just the handle. And these are the metal measuring cups. Again, they're pretty heavy, but they're in there pretty secure, okay? All right, guys. And this is going to be the finished product. I'm going to get it shrink wrapped. And I think I'm going to use this pretty teal. I had two different kind, but I think, I don't know, this has more greenish in it, I think. I think this is more along the blue, and it's mesh ribbon, but it's got that pretty glittery look to it. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and make the bow out of this, okay? All right, guys, so I am going to find a shrink wrap bag and get this shrink wrap, and then I'm gonna go ahead and make a bow. I am probably, yeah, I might shrink wrap it on camera. So stay tuned.